Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Toni and I'm a homeschooling mom to 4 kids. I'm gonna give you a peek at our daily homeschool routine, which does vary from day to day, whether we need to run errands in the morning. I'm not a, we're gonna get up at this time and we're gonna start at this time and do this and this and this. So, I'm not super structured, but we have a routine, I wouldn't call it a schedule. I would call it kind of an order of how things go. So if you're anything like me, this will be helpful. If you're not like me, it might be interesting too. So you'll get to see how we do things and in what order we do things, from getting ready in the morning all the way until finishing up school and then even dinner time. So come along with me while I start my day. I'm gonna throw a roast in the Instant Pot so I can have dinner cooking. My husband just switched to working back at first shift again, so he gets home. Ideally, he could get home around 3, which is nice, but then I have to have dinner ready a little earlier than usual. So I'm gonna finish throwing the dishes in and then I will show you our order of school and how that works. And that's it. So do you guys know I dream of Jeannie? This is what I always wish I could do. Ready? Ding! It worked! Look at that. I have a Jenga pile of dishes, but the sink is empty and the counter's cleaned off. So the kids are making themselves a drink. I'm gonna throw dinner in the Instant Pot, and then we're gonna start school finally. Okay. I use the Instant Pot a lot, but I don't use it every day. I recently discovered how easy and amazing nachos are. So a lot of times I just do nachos with shredded chicken, or we do nachos with ground beef, but this time I'm going to take a beef roast. So I'm just gonna season it and then cook it and I'm gonna cook it so that it shreds, and then we'll just throw it on nachos with cheese and sour cream, and it is one of the easiest dinners. Well, I throw it on tortilla chips, not on nachos, and makes it nachos. So if you're curious, I'm putting garlic powder, onion. I got these adorable little, what are they called? Salt, I think it's called a salt pig or something, but I got salt and pepper. Anyway, I got these at our event and store for super cheap. I'm just gonna season this real good, turn it on and let it cook while we're doing school. Then when Daddy gets home, I can just throw the meat and cheese on nachos and we will be good to go. Okay, so now we just need water. I don't usually have chicken broth, so I just season it real good and add some water and then it should be good to go. Do you guys have Instant Pots? And how often do you use them? You'll have to let me know in the comments. So I'm just gonna put this on meat and let it cook, and then we'll eat it later. So this is not a typical morning, but it is not totally out of the norm for us to pick up and go to the library. A lot of times I just will decide randomly one morning, hey, we need to go return books and get new books today. And today is one of those days. Also, I heard yesterday on a Facebook group that I'm a part of that some mom was saying something about wherever, I mean, she probably lives states away, but was saying something about how their state was getting ready to shut down. Their library was going to shut down until January or something. And I thought, I should probably get to the library and make sure we have enough books just in case our library shuts down again. So we're taking a little trip to the library. My kids just went and put the books in the book drop, and we're gonna load up on books, and then we'll get home and show you the rest of our morning routine. So we're finally all around the table together. Everybody has a drink. I just got some new coffee creamer last night. All of these kids like coffee. Ooh, super gross. I don't like coffee, but I'm trying to get away from this. This is what I get if we leave the house. It's a Mountain Dew, and I love it. That's amazing. But I got some coffee creamer and some whipped cream so that I could try to start liking coffee, so I can get off of Mountain Dew. So our routine when we get into the schoolroom kind of depends on the day. Sometimes if this little guy here is not in the mood to start school, I don't push it, so then we will come in here, we'll start with Bible, we'll do history or science, whatever it is for that day. Then we'll get into individual stuff, and then I will work with him whenever he's ready. Today, he's ready to start right away. So on days like this, where he's ready to do his schoolwork, I have these girls start on their handwriting so that I can get his done. His is not a lot of work, but sometimes it takes a long time because he doesn't like to sit still for a long time. So we take advantage of the excitement for school when we have it because it's not always there. So I'm gonna work with him. We're gonna start getting our subjects done. So for today, if I start with him in the schoolroom, what I'll do is I put him down for nap around 1 o'clock. So we'll have lunch and then I'll put him down for nap. His body needs to lay down and it also gives us a little break. So he will lay in his room for maybe an hour or so. That's when we will do history or science. So it kind of depends. It just depends on this little guy. He kind of controls our day depending on what he's in the mood for. So for today, we're gonna do his pre-K course book. The girls will start on the individual stuff they can do when they're done with this. They'll do math, which we do Math UC. So if they have a lesson on the computer, they would watch that. If not, they just get their book out and start working on that. And I'm here if anybody needs my help. They just keep moving on. These two do need me for language. So once I'm done with him, I'll work with one of them with language. I'll work on the other one with language when she's done, and then she'll have a little bit of language she needs my help for. So that is basically how our school day works. It's not the same every single day. As long as we get everything done, I've got my planner here and we'll check stuff off, and as long as everything gets checked off, then our day is done. Right, girls?
Yes.
All right, so we're gonna get going. All the girls working on something independent. A lot of times when I leave the room, like to come make lunch, I have a certain child that goes crazy and distracts everybody. So this one was smart enough to come out here and work on her stuff on her own. So she is working in the kitchen on her math. And my little guy is over there watching a movie on TV until nap time and lunchtime. And let's go see what the other girls are doing. So these two are in here working so diligently, and it's not just because I just came in the room. It's just because they're such diligent, well-behaved little girls. Can you see which one is laughing? So I'm going to work with them. They both have some language that they need me to help with that I have to do with them. So I'm going to sit down with them and do some language, and then once about 15 minutes or so, lunch will be ready and we'll eat. And if someone finishes, like if she finishes her math, and I'm still working with her, I would have her go do silent reading or something like that while she's waiting. Lunch is finally ready, so we are ready to put this out. Oh, that's great. I love it when that happens. Nerd alert. Okay. Pizza's ready, and now we can eat, finally. So my oldest daughter has, for the Good and the Beautiful, she has painting how often?
About once every week.
Maybe once a week. So she comes in here in her room and sets up with her paints, and she's got a little desk here. So she works on this while we are working on other stuff in the schoolroom. So just wanted to show you what she's doing. So everyone is working on language right now, with my daughter doing painting in her room, and then I'm going to be doing some language with my youngest daughter, and then my middle daughter is doing her independent language, and then we'll just swap in a couple minutes. So my youngest daughter is now done with all of her individual work. I'm gonna finish up some language with this one, and then all we have left is history and Bible, and then we are done for the day, right? All right, so we're gonna do some language. All right. So we're pretty much done with all of our independent stuff. These two have one thing that they have to finish on their own, but we're going to go ahead and do Bible and history so that we're completely done for the day, and they can just finish up the couple things they need to do at the end. So we alternate what we do for Bible. we are doing this Adventures in Odyssey 90 devotions for kids. It's really good. This goes through the book of Matthew. So we've done this. We've also gone through the Psalms some this year, and we do science, which we alternate history and science on different days. We use this Indescribable book. This is 100 devotions about God and science. So it's nice. This ties into science, and then doesn't tie into history, but it's just nice that we can go through the book of Matthew, and we're getting close to Christmas right now. So turn to Matthew 4, 18 to 22. So this is the stuff we try to do. If we get this done in the morning, then we would just be doing independent stuff right now. All we're doing is swapping our beginning combined subjects that we sometimes do in the morning, and then everything else is the same, or sometimes we swap it and we do our individual subjects, and then we do our like morning basket combined subjects at the end. So our schedule isn't like totally different, it just depends on what we start with. And that all depends on the little guy that's in his room taking a little rest time right now. All right, so we are at 2:39. We are done with almost everything except for history. We're going to read history together right now. The goal is to finish by 3. I think we can do it.
What time is it?
2:39.
Okay.
Did anybody else hear me say that?
I did. No.
Okay, so we use Biblioplan for history, so this is something we teach all together. And let's get started. Okay, so we're finally almost ready for dinner. I am going to show you how I make nachos. I just buy these super cheap Walmart bite-sized tortilla chips and lay them out on 2 trays with oil so that it's easier to clean up. And then I've got my roast here that I just threw in the Instant Pot earlier and it is like falling apart. So I just shred this up and see how easy it just falls right apart. So good. Seriously, this is one of the easiest meals you could make, and because of the meat, and I'll show you what else I put on top of it, it's actually really filling, even for my husband. I think everybody likes it. I never have done nachos and pizza on the same day. Today was a little strange because I don't have those pizza things, so we do usually eat a little bit healthier than this. I mean, these are healthy, it's just the chips. We just sprinkle the meat on top. And then you can add whatever toppings you want. And like I said, sometimes we do this with chicken, sometimes we do it with ground beef, whatever I have. So there's the meat. And then it kind of depends on, I kind of just put on whatever I have. I happen to have some pinto beans today, so I sprinkle pinto beans on it to give us some more healthiness. And it makes it more hearty. So there's some beans. So I usually add corn too. We really like corn on it. I don't have any canned corn, but you just throw this in the oven for like 10 minutes or so the frozen corn actually cooks just fine. Ooh, I don't want to put too much. So you got corn and beans and the meat, and it's a real yummy, hearty tacos. And then of course, my favorite, the cheese. I like a lot of cheese, so I'm gonna put a lot of cheese on it. These are so good. And so once I have this all together, this literally, I think I put it in the oven for, I don't know, maybe 7 minutes or something. I know, I use a lot of cheese, but I like cheese. You never want one of those chips that has no cheese on it, because that makes everybody sad. Hey, I'll show you what they look like in a minute. Okay guys, here they are. You wanna see a close-up of the nachos? Let me show you. Look how delicious those look. Yum. Super yummy nachos. So that's what's for dinner. I usually put sour cream and some salsa out for whoever wants it. Okay guys, that was our day. That's our typical morning routine, which like I said, sometimes is exactly like this and sometimes it's a little bit flip-flopped, but that's basically how we do it. So my 2 cents is keep it kind of loose. It will save your family a lot of stress if you just go with the flow and you just have kind of a basic schedule. So thanks for watching, and I hope this was helpful for you. If it was, please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet subscribed, make sure you subscribe so you're notified every time one of my new videos comes out. So thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.